level. So let me hear you say sa.neter, sa.neter, sa.neter. Alright then, sa.neter brings the truth. Black News 102. This is here for me and you. It's Black News 102. House of Consciousness, make sure you log into YouTube. Black man, hold your head up high, and black woman, you too. Me nah go apologize, love of me melanin. Forget them other guys, that's what I'm telling them. Salute the general, never fear the challenge. The God sa.neter, stay strapped with the cannon. Don't ever disrespect, so it's best you pay homage. You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. White supremacy, education get abolished. A laptop, a pen, and my pad is my college. Black man cipher, enter at your own risk. Make Europeans bow down on 125th. sa.neter got the spirit of Nat Turner. Waking up our people that's been miseducated and mass murdered. And it don't matter if you're shot in the clap burners. It's never too late to awake and progress further. As sure as the sun shines and the wind blows, there's therapy for post-traumatic slavery syndrome. sa.neter brings the truth. Black News 102. This is here for me and you. It's Black News 102. House of Consciousness, make sure you log into YouTube. Black man, hold your head up high, and black woman, you too.
Start right now. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Hotep, namaste, jambo, ashe, shalom. All the greetings of love and light to the darkest minds of the light. We have Ankh 607, Ankh. How do you say it? Ankh, not the punk.
Not the punk, but you said assalamu alaikum.
Family, come on in. Get ready for an exclusive.
You said assalamu alaikum. You said peace be up into me, right?
I say every greeting that can relate to people, yes.
Right. So what was the purpose of assalamu alaikum? What was the purpose of saying that?
Because there are people in our audience who greet me sometimes with assalamu alaikum. They're Muslim. I'm saying it to the audience, not to you.
Well,
I'm talking.
I have no problem with Muslims. I love Muslims. I love everybody. I got a problem with Allah, right? Allah is not God, right?
Come on.
He's a demiurge, right? And what people don't understand, religion is systematically for control, right? He is controlling the people and blocking their way to the hereafter. He making them think like it's a heaven, right? Because the heaven is a duplicate of the heavens, right? We all spirits, right? So I don't fuck with Allah, right? And I know that Allah gave because the jinn go in the booty, right? Because like them evil spirits that's inside of everybody, right? So if you're a Muslim, I want to tell you assalamu alaikum, but I don't mess with your commander-in-chief because he's not real, right? Because if he was real, right, what kind of God? I just want to know this. Allah say to get to him, you got to learn that language. So, and then I got to treat a woman wrong, right? So how can I treat a woman wrong when a woman is God? That's who really the goddess is, the woman. That's what a lot of people don't know. The woman created the man. She had birth. So why in Islam, they telling the woman to get behind the man? They wrong. The whole world is wrong because the whole world is misusing the woman. The woman, that's what I got wobble. That's who needs to be president. That's the ruler. That's who we supposed to protect the woman. I know that for a fact, right? Protect her because like she channel more than anybody because people don't understand emotions. See, emotions that the woman carry them are signals, right? And a lot of people don't know that. See, for me, I understand that, but a lot of people think the woman, when the woman intuition go off, they don't understand a woman. So I just want to say that a man cannot possibly be God. First of all, first and foremost, Allah is not God because I never seen a man create. When you seen a man create and give life, when you tell me that, then you tell me that's God. So why I gotta learn a new language to talk to him, right? I gotta learn a new language now. So now I gotta speak in Arabic. That's outside of my tongue. My God is familiar just like me. God is everything. God is everywhere. So I just don't understand that. So when you say Assalamu alaikum, I just like to say that. So peace be on all to the Muslims, but I got a problem with Allah.
Thank you so much for that. I love it right out the box. Brother's dropping some gems. We're so glad to have him over here. This is his debut. We definitely have him in the house. I love what the energy you just brought right now was wonderful. Talk to us more about your teachings when you talk about the feminine divine. I did hear you talking about that before. Is there a place though when we talk about the feminine divine? Can you also talk about the masculine divine as well?
I'm gonna tell you this, right? So everything is one, right? So everything you look at is one. So masculine and feminine is actually one. Is one thing, but it was split. So a lot of people think that when the devil, which God, took the Eve out the rib, they told him that, oh no, we made her out of you so he could be over her, but that was a lie, right? All that was a lie. See, what you don't understand is the woman and the man was one. There was one soul inside the paroma. So what I'm telling you is this: if you don't activate your masculine and your feminine, you can't get out of earth, right? Because women, the Sophia, as wisdom, as knowledge, as love. But then a man, he aggressive, but you need both because you got to balance. I'm gonna tell you what I mean. See, I believe this: if a man, I don't believe shit, because belief of what man thinks is true. I know this, right? This is what I know. I know this: a man that's too weak to kill to protect the word or himself, he's just too weak. He don't balance correctly. And a man that kill too much, he just kill too much. It got to be a balance. Killing is needed. I would tell you how I know. This how I know killing is needed, because life is needed. If you don't know what killing is like, you wouldn't know what giving birth is like.
Brother, your audio, I want them to catch all these gems. Your audio is kind of garbly, so.
How is it now? Is it better now?
It's better. It's perfect. Keep going.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about this, we don't like doing live. A lot of times when I'm doing live, it's going to be some kind of interference because the spirits, but they really can't touch me. But you can ask me your questions, and I'm going to give you the best answers I can. I'm apologize about that.
No, don't apologize. Thank you. When you talk a lot about, this is what I'm really excited to talk to you about, is the afterlife. Let our audience know your teachings of what your concept of death in itself. What is death?
You already did.
Talk on it.
Did. See, what people don't understand is that Earth itself is a prison for the souls. Dead souls that couldn't travel on, souls with too many attachments, right? And that particularly what Earth is. And Earth was created by, y'all probably think I'm crazy, but it was created by mad scientists.
We do not think you're crazy.
It was an Earth once before, but that Earth was created and then it was duplicated. When the Bible said that, he said, let me get every animal and put them on the boat, he wasn't talking about a boat, he was really talking about a chip. Because right now, we is in the 3D how the fuck you say that word?
Okay, we can't say the F word too much, but it's like a projection.
Yeah. We in a 3D projection. And so we projecting this reality, and reality ain't real. See, right now we could be in the 3D or 4D or 5D dimension. It just depends on what you think. Let me tell you what I mean. When I was coming up, they told me that this right here was called matter and that it was solid. But then something called quantum physics came out, and then they told us about atoms and everything like that. So everybody that understands that this is an atom and that they can move it with their mind and the reality, they live in a different reality than everybody that thought that this was matter and that this was material. And that kind of like affects your reality, right? It depends on what you think. Everybody think like a different outer space is outer space. But now since you understand that, you know outer space is everything because there's a space between every atom, right? So my understanding of where I live at is that we live in space, right? But every atom would make this be able to connect with something that you call physical. But back to what I was saying, that's the problem, the confusion. And people like to say that I bring confusion. Well, I do. Because if I didn't bring confusion, how you going to understand where you're going until you have the opposite of what you know? You got to have confusion in order to be straight. So for those that say I'm with confusion, they're absolutely correct. Because it takes confusion. I was confused, but now I know the truth, right? So what I'm telling you, And I'm trying to explain to people, really, is this, like you said, the masculine and the feminine, you have to activate them both in order to get out of this earth. And the ones that didn't, they won't make it out. And that's why you dead. Because this earth itself is a place for dead souls. So I tell you what I basically know. This is a place that people have too many attachments. So understand this. You have a grandma. Your grandma got a grandma. Her grandma got a grandma. Her grandma got a grandma. It's a never-ending cycle. Everybody is touched with struck with these attachments. But they don't understand we live under one, there's only one consciousness that governs the earth. But remember what I told you, it's about the 3D and the 4D and the 5D dimension, depending on where you pull your information from. So that's what I'm telling you. A lot of people are dead when you don't move forward. What I'm telling you what I mean, I'm from the streets. I know people that basically sold drugs at the age of 10, they get to 30, they still selling drugs, that's all they know. They kind of like stuck in that cycle. That's their reality. You can't tell them nothing else but that. But that's true to them. Their reality cannot change, right? And that's what I'm saying. We live on Earth, but Earth is different universes. It's different parallel universes, depending on how you view it.
Yes. And that's also not, you know, we have Michio Kaku, a world-renowned quantum theorist, who says the same thing. There's multiple universes. So would you say that right now where we're speaking, there's another you or me somewhere else doing something else?
That's what I'm saying, so you understand. Life, everybody think life is like time, but life is kind of like moments. Let me tell you what I mean. A lot of people think that kind of like your life is predetermined based off one move. It's a lot of moves together. Let me tell you what I mean. See, if you know a guy, say you got your rent due and your rent is $500 and your landlord call you on the 29th and say, listen, I need my money by the 30th. If you don't pay me, you got to go. But your check's supposed to come on the 29th. So on the 29th, your check don't come. You so worried about tomorrow, you go out and rob somebody. You rob somebody, you get 30 years in jail. Your check came the next day. Who determines your future? Your moves determine your future. So life is moment to moment based on your decisions, based on what you say. Every decision sends you into a different reality. That's what I mean by parallel reality. Every decision you make can take you either which way. So a lot of people think I gotta change my whole life. No, it starts by every decision. So your life is moment to moment. So every moment can take you somewhere else, either forward or backwards, depending on how you perceive it.
Beautiful. So you right now where you are, would you say that you as Ankh, or do I address you as Ankh 607 or Ankh?
607 Ankh. That's the name I go by now, but I'm not this body. See, a lot of people get attached to this body. So I don't want you to get used to me with this body. Just feel this energy. You probably felt it before. You probably think you're hearing a voice right now in words, but I don't have words. It kind of sounds like this, blah, 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 but you kind of perceive you feel it, and then your mind turns into words, right? So I'm just trying to say that a name don't matter, but 607 Ankh is the name that I was given, right? And a lot of people put a lot of science behind that name because 6 + 7 is 13. They say it's divine, right? But for me, I didn't learn none of this. I didn't read any books. I'm not educated, right? I just started vibrating correctly and getting these downloads. So that's the problem. I only have one language. You tell me don't say the F word, but them the only words I know. I'm just giving the story from which I got it.
Yes, and it's not that I have an offense to it. It's YouTube will take our video down, and I need this to stay up so people can hear your knowledge. So let me ask you, talk to us about the name that you were given at first.
Listen, this is kind of crazy. So remember I tell you that everything kind of like happened how it's supposed to happen. So before I tell you about the name, I'm going to tell you how I came into this world. So I came in this world with my mother, but my mother was on crack cocaine. And so I couldn't stay with her. She moved me to my grandmama's house. My grandma was a Christian pastor. She was a preacher. But something was weird about my grandmama because at home, when she went in the church, she burned sage. She did all these rituals. She did all these other kind of things. And so her life was really, really, really wonderful. But she didn't bring this stuff to the forefront. She didn't say, okay, I'm using sage to protect me from this. I'm doing this. She didn't tell me what she was doing it for. But now I understand that even the number, I come from a divine place, from like Jesus, right? Like, believe it or not, because she was already ready to tell me everything she needed to tell me, and she didn't tell me nothing. and I got it all now. So that's how I kind of like know. A lot of people that's in this movement, I respect them. I can't say their names, and I wish I could. I never listened to them. I don't know none of this. So if I don't come off the way people expect me to, I'm sorry. I'm a street nigga.
No, you're coming off perfectly fine. You're connecting to our audience. Our audience is we have the deepest minds, the deepest, darkest minds of the light. We have the HOK Family House of Consciousness. Please hit the like button. Please share this video. Yes, family. This is the one and only 607 Ankh in the building. I want to ask you, can you talk to us about sound vibration? Because I know that's your background is music. Right. Tell people, can you tell people first off, can you tell us some of the songs you've written that they might be familiar with, and then talk about music?
Right, I'm gonna tell you about music, and then you gotta understand this. But everybody know the songs I've written. I wrote a lot of songs for Nelly. But before that, you gotta understand this. Life is frequency. So a lot of people want to do things in life, but the problem is you off beat. Let me tell you what I mean. You probably think like it's like this. So say if you got a YouTube account and like you're trying to come up on YouTube, you gotta post the same video, the different video at the same time every day. Let me tell you what I mean. 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock. You will pick up rhythm. The problem is a lot of people want to go 1 o'clock. Then the next day they forget. So you can't really start the frequency that you need, and the vibrations can't really kick off, right? So life is strictly about vibration and frequency, consistency, if you want to say it that way, right? But what they did with music, they did this. So back in the days, what they used to do in order to, just back in the ancient days, in Atlantic Kemet and shit, in order to wake people woke, they used to play these high frequency bells off all the time, like through all the day, in order to keep people woke. And people don't know certain energy, certain frequencies carry certain things. It's low vibrational frequencies. And that's what you hear the rappers use. They use and they push low vibrational frequency on the hood, and then they wonder why the hood's so bad. Then they keep trying to change it. The problem with manifestation is that once it's manifested, you cannot change it. So the only way to kind of like change it is to reverse the frequency. So let me tell you what I mean. If all positive music and different flows start coming to the hood, you will see the people in the hood start getting smarter, because the brain don't have an IQ. A lot of people mistake the brain for having an IQ, but it don't. All the information you can possibly receive is already here. It's right here in the air that we breathe. We breathe the information. So every brain is just as smart as the next brain, or just as stupid. It all depends on how you vibrate, where your conscious level is, in order for you to receive that information.
Wow, thank you. So I like when you were talking about that's something of the idea of algorithm. When you said just keep coming in, when you said stay on the rhythm, are we all working when we interact with each other? Would you say we're all on a rhythm dealing with each other?
Listen, the earth was designed on rhythms. Everybody want to think they have free will. That's a goddamn lie. You have to go with your purpose. If you don't go with your purpose, then everything is wrong. Think about it. If the sun or the moon didn't go from side to side, would nothing be here, right? We have to understand that there's no free will. You have a purpose, and you have to align with your purpose. When you align with your purpose and your vibration, your frequency, you're going to be rich. Like, how can you be poor? Because, like, you're going to be the richest ever. You're going to have everything you can possibly have because you're in line correctly. So I'm going to tell you what I mean. When an ant is aligned correctly with an ant going to get all the food it needs because it's aligned correctly, right? And that's why you have to be aligned. In humans, let people control them, right? Let them give them Jesus and tell them that Jesus died for their sins. But they didn't understand that Jesus woke up in 3 days. So if he woke up in 3 days, then that means my sins still count.
Wow. Why do you say that? Can you elaborate?
They said Jesus died for your sins, right? So if he died for my sins, why he wake up then? He supposed to stay dead. If he don't stay dead, then my sins not forgiven. The blood of Christ is dried up then. See, that was a lie. See, Jesus didn't come for that. Jesus said that. That's what Jesus said. Jesus said that clean the inside of your cup before you clean the outside. Jesus said, I will tear down the church and build it up in 3 days, right? And then the same people that give y'all the word about him. So y'all can't listen to that, right? The church itself was stolen from Gnosticism, right? And this was before they believed in the spiritual world. But understand that the church do too. That's why you saw the Pope praying a black Jesus. But he wasn't really praying to him. He was just giving them respect. See, they know what you don't know. Everything that you think you know is reversed. That's that a lot of people don't know. Everything is reversed. Everything is the opposite of what you think you know.
Everything is the opposite. That would be like the duality, correct?
Yeah, but they gotta tell you, like, If I didn't tell you, if I didn't show you in the movies, I didn't give you opportunity. See, what people don't know, you got to agree to the curse. They agree. Every time you accept something, you agree. So everybody run around agreeing, and they selling their soul, and they acting like it's only the artist. You want to talk about the music, the artist not the only one selling their soul. Everybody in the world is selling their soul. They selling their soul for the girl they hold attachment to. They selling their soul to them kids they hold attachment to. Because every time someone hold attachment to, you coming back in another body.
Thank you so much for saying that. So when we say we're selling, when we talk about people in the music industry or entertainment industry saying, oh, they sold their soul to make that success, you're saying everybody does that?
The world has sold their soul. Listen, everybody, Jesus said it, the prince of this world is the devil. The light of this world is the devil. Everybody on earth worship the devil. That's what a lot of people don't know. And we try to tell them, they think you crazy. But they don't understand. They don't read the book that they got. Everybody's scared of one thing, death. They don't want to know what happens, so they wait till they die to figure out. I'm telling you, you already dead, so you ain't got to wait, right? All you going to do is put yourself through more misery, right? You're dead already. There's nothing you can do about it. You agree to it, and you agree to it every time you eat the food, because that's poison. Everything is poison.
Would you say we have more than one life, though, even though...
Yeah.
So
listen,
talk to us.
You got more than one life, and it happened fast. You ever meet somebody that tell you they was in a coma? They tell you when they woke up, it's like they went to sleep yesterday. That what happened with your lives. You had so many of them. You probably been a tree. You've been a cat. You've been an ant. A lot of people think trees and ants don't have souls, but they do. Everybody share one soul. That's what I'm telling you. The earth was created from one jointed soul. Adam and Eve, that was one soul, and it broke down into many pieces. We all share that same consciousness.
So, are you in this realm? First, let me talk to you, a 607 Ankh. How many do you call it realms when we talk about these different lives? You're in this one realm right now, but there are many realms. We talked about that. So, are you saying that you can exist as yourself, 607 Ankh, in this realm? In multiplicity, like more than one?
Yes. I can astral project and take my body with me. So when I astral project, you can ask people, they say, hey, you talk to me in my dream. And I tell them, hey, what did I say? Because I'll remember the dream, and I leave my number public so they can call me, so then I can confirm. See, I'm waking up. What people don't understand is everything for me to wake up is already decoded in here. You remember they say certain things are triggered? Like you trigger certain things to activate your memory as well. Right? So that's why everything is public for me, right? Yeah, I died 5 times, right? But to die is nothing, because to live is to die. It's all the same, because this is just not even really happening, right? The earth itself was created for one reason. A lot of people probably think this is sick, but it was created for you to learn how to use all of your emotions. You think we got 7 chakras, but it's probably different things out in the universe that we haven't not felt yet. But in the thing, when they were trying to create it, it got invaded. And when it got invaded by different spirits and different energies and different things, that's how you get this earth, right? This earth is not the real earth. This is not where you want to be. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake.
So let me ask you, what about when people lose, like someone they're close to, and you give them that information?
You ain't never lost nobody. Everything is you. See, what we project is what's on the inside of us. We project our fears. We project our happiness. A lot of people don't know. See, remember I told you that whatever you think, whatever you feel, whatever you say come. Your mouth is the last thing of manifestation. That's what the spirits don't have. That's why they got to get in your body. Let me tell you, let me make you know I'm telling the truth. What you going to be thinking about in the next 5 minutes? Tell me exactly what you're going to be thinking about in the next 5 minutes. Exactly.
My next question to you.
Exactly. Do you know that it's going to possibly, do you know your next thought? Can you create a thought for the next 5 minutes? Can you create a thought?
Yeah.
Listen, you can say it right now and we can go 5 minutes. I guarantee you it won't be the same, but I'll let you think that you can. Nobody can create thoughts. Thoughts are downloaded. So what I mean, they downloaded by how you feel, your emotions. So certain emotions make certain thoughts downloaded to your body, and your actions going to come to your body is going to do certain things from your emotional state. Your emotional state control the reality you live in. That's what a lot of people don't know. Let me tell you. So if you want to be rich, All you gotta do is simply in your mind think rich and talk and act rich, and then money gonna appear up. Because life do not give you what you want; it give you what you are. Right? So whatever you are is what you receive here.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying.
You know, you make me think of this method called the Silva method, where you manifest, and this is a known, proven method. When you have a certain way that you think and you say on certain brain waves, like theta brain waves, you manifest everything.
No, everything is manifested before a person even think about what they gonna wear. They think about it in their head. Before they draw something, they think about it in their head. Everything in this plane is created here first, and then it ceases to exist. It exists. People don't understand that they are creating their reality. You are creating your reality. Everybody is walking around creating their reality moment to moment. Every decision is that difficult. You think it's not, but every decision, every time you make a decision, it takes you to a different reality.
That's an interesting concept, because it's like when you do those stories, when you can choose which path you want to go. And when you're reading a story, it says, do you want to go through this door? And then it takes you to the other part of the story. Or go ahead.
Life is moment to moment. I'm from the streets. Let me tell you what I mean. My girl can pull up and say, yo, come with me in order to go get your kids something. And then my homeboy can pull up, yo, come with me. And I can choose where I go. One of them can meet my demise. I go with my homeboy, I die. I go with my home girl, I'm good. Life is moment to moment based on your decisions.
That sounds good. I can rock with that. I agree with you. And would you say so there is no laid out fate? Our fate isn't already.
No one has a laid out fate. Listen, you determine everything. Listen, it's moment to moment. Every decision you make determine your reality. You can do anything you want, right? But a lot of people don't understand. They want to say, okay, the church want to follow the 10 Commandments. And Jesus came and said, fuck the 10 Commandments, thou should just love. They didn't understand that. But it's really only 2 commandments on this earth. It's create and let whatever you create don't hurt nobody. And it's create and let whatever you create don't stop nobody. And that's the thing that people don't understand. Everybody is trying to create, but their creations are stopping people, so therefore their creations don't blossom. That's the problem.
So I have my channel, I titled it the Rise channel, and it stands for Reality is Simulated Existence. So you're basically saying we create our own existence through the manifestation of thought?
Yeah, but it ain't that. Listen, it's thought, and then a lot of people think that it's everything. It's thought, it's feeling, but your voice, this is so powerful. Whatever you speak is gonna come. You best believe it, right? But if it's in line with your mind, I tell you why people life don't go according to the way they want it to, because they never make a decision to go which way. They always say, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this. They never decide. I promise you, if they decide one way, everything will be okay, right? That's what I'm telling you. That's what
that's pretty. You know what? That's true, because when you continue to say, the thought is already, the concept is there, but when you say it, it's like you're pushing it further into like materializing, right?
Yeah, you're making it, you turn it into reality. Now you believe it. And a lot of people understand you have to attach your emotions to what you want, right? Your emotions is part of your power, right?
Wow.
So people don't know how to use them. You get emotions like power, like you're Superman. I bring them in and then I push them back out. That's it. They come in and out, right? That's how they go. They don't come in and stay there. You bring them out and you create. So like you all day long, you just like this. You redirect the energy. For me, that's my life. I understand we live in a spiritual world. I understand that we don't live in a physical world, so I use my powers. I don't care.
Wow.
Jesus said that the Holy Spirit gonna come after me. So why wouldn't I use it?
Wow. You know what? While you're talking, you're bringing to mind this. I want to hear from you on this. So in Geneva, they have the Hadron Collider. They have CERN, and they're working on all these different particles. They're working on the photons, the light particles, and the protons. They recently, and I'm gonna hand this over to you. I want to hear from you. They recently created material out of actual light. They made matter out of light. Ankh 607. Ankh. Talk to us.
Is that weird? We matter made out of light. We reflecting off the sun and the moon. I don't think you understand. We are 3D projection. We are not even here, right? Reality as we know it don't exist. We share the same consciousness. I keep telling you this. We share the same consciousness. This body is a prison. This is what locks the cell. This is what locks us in here, right? The sun and the moon is what projects reality. So if you saying they created reality off light, we are nothing but light. That white light in the inside of you. Jesus told you that. You should understand this. Like,
come on.
I should have.
That was fire. That's right. No pun intended. Talk to us. When I say no pun intended, 607 Unc, you know, I listened to some astrotheologists who look at the stars, and they said the way you can tell if something's divine is if you look at how it has like a pun or some other meaning. What do you say about that? Because you write rap and you're a rapper, right? How spiritual is that actual when you say something that has double meaning?
Let me tell you something. Life is like an onion. It's different layers. It's different layers and to make you cry, right? Listen, all words have different meanings, just like there and there, right? There and there is two different meanings. It means two different things. Love and lust, same thing, two different meanings, but two different words. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Everything has millions of possibilities. You can't take nothing one way. If you take it one way, you already made a mistake. Everything got a balance. Sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. It's yin and the yang, right? Everybody don't get the same thing, right? When everything comes in seasons, right? That a lot of people don't know. And I just want to express that. There's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad, right? Because a lot of times people try to say, okay, this is right for me, and then I'm going to train my kid. But you don't understand, when you try to train your kids, you don't just pass on the knowledge, you also pass on the attachments. So you got to be careful to when you try to teach somebody. There's nothing you can teach anyone, because if I want to teach you, I got to give you everything. So believe me, you getting what you don't want to. So you're going to get my attachment. You're going to get my pain, right? We already, when we get the kids, just for me eating the way I eat. Say if I eat gluten all my life, I'm going to already pass my kid high blood pressure and heart disease, right? So why do I want to pass them some more attachments for?
Wow, I love this conversation. Thank you so much. The audience is loving you. Thank you for being here. Talking about eating. Eating isn't just food. I want to talk to you. What else is eating besides food? What else do we eat?
Listen, I just want to just be 100% clear with you. Just to talk about eat, and I know you want to talk about that eat, but for me, I'm man. I eat 1 meal a day, and I eat energy, right? So I'm telling you this, right? So I understand what my body needs. I understand that food itself. I don't eat flesh because I understand that I am what I eat. You ever heard that before? You are what you eat. So when I eat this flesh, they got all the chemicals they put in the animal. Now it's in me, and I'm gonna act like that animal. Right? I'm gonna be just as savage as that animal is, right? So, but people eat a lot of different things. People eat love, right? And like what I mean by that is, it's just like people want to get full off of everything instead of being full off themselves, right? Because everything is inside. If a person have to have somebody else or have something else to make them feel love, they don't know what love is. I'm telling you, no one in the world knows what love is. No one. No one on this live, no one on here right now understand what love is. Because I can tell you this, if your kid fall right now, everybody's first reaction is going to be to grab the kid. But I'm telling you, that's not love. Love is the fact to watch the kid and watch it get up and watch it make mistakes and watch it get better without making a move. That's love. See, love is the fact to observe you and trust you to make your own decisions, right? That's love. See, people put attachments on love. See, God does love us. He loves us so much, he keeps us stuck in assimilation. Wake yourself up, right? Because if you can't wake yourself up, you no good to God. I swear to God, my mama.
Come on. Wait, I got to get you. I got to do this. Whoa. I got y'all know I be like on a delay sometimes, but we got to drop a bomb for that. Beautiful. Wow. I want to talk to you more about the like what I'm interested in, and I know everybody else. You said, I love what you said about no one can define love. No one can define love, and no one can define life and death too, right? These are things that we can't define.
Listen, everybody try to define the universe based off numbers, right? That's what they do. They take numbers. But how can you define something based off something that you created off something. I'm gonna be lost every time because I'm trying to describe something off something I created from the something that I'm trying to describe. It don't make sense. That's a rabbit hole that'll never be determined. So I'm gonna tell you this: for everybody on here that don't understand this, they better understand that if you sit in that dark room, your understanding gonna be your own. It's gonna be your own. It's not gonna be nobody else's. It's gonna be yours. So that even though we share the same consciousness, we all blow different. Like me, I know I'm supposed to enforce the law. I'm like Jesus said, I'm the sword that's gonna cut through the illusion. Right? I'm gonna cut through the illusion. I'm gonna offend the church. I'm gonna offend the Muslims, but it's in love. Because I'm not attacking them, I'm attacking their God.
Come on. Ooh. Now you at the beginning, you were checked. First, I want to let everybody know when I talked to the brother briefly, he said he doesn't just rehearse things. Everything is a channel. He channels. I'm talking to the audience. So channel this for us. You were talking about Islam and how you feel about religion. Can you talk to us how you connect with God? Is it the channeling that you do? Is that how you connect with God? Do you not need religion, right?
Religion is a block. That what block you to get to God. It's like if everybody got a phone, they think they was born in sin, but everybody was born in the sine waves. Everybody in frequency and vibration. So when you put a God in front of that, you kind of like block that signal to the creation. So that kind of like leave you stuck and lost. See, everything is mirrored. Even the person that created this world, he was mad because he couldn't find God, so he thought he was the only God. Because God is a dark place, and everything a reflection of God, and everything's been mirrored. And it's a bad thing to call him God because I'm God. God, if he was God, then how can he create a God? He got to be bigger than God. So he's the monad. He's bigger than that. He's the divine. He's outside of time. He's outside of everything. So I don't go through ancestors because you never know who ancestors was. If they go through, if I talk to them, they part of my soul train, then that means I'm them. That means I was them the whole time. That means I was never me.
Right. So you're already, are they in your DNA?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm already them. We all the same. We share one soul. And every time somebody wake up, it come back together. So I'm all of them. I'm everybody that ever woke up. We share one soul, one consciousness.
There you go. I was just going to say that. Wow. I was just about to ask you, are we all sharing one consciousness? And if so, why do we have so many people hating each other?
We share one soul, one consciousness, but yet we divided. We came from one place. We came from the heavens, from the Paroma, which was one soul. Adam and Eve was enjoying. When he splitted them, that's when the maze began, right? Now we stuck trying to find each other. But like I'm trying to tell you, and you really got to understand this. Attachments keep you far away from God. So if you try to put any religion, any ritual, anything, you will not see God. You're coming back in another body.
So when hold on, because I love this. I need to get this information. When you come back in another body, you're saying there is reincarnation.
Yeah. When you come back as another body, you
spectacular. Give me 14 of them right now.
When you come back as another body, as a child, you remember. Because as a child, you have a soft spot. And that soft spot is sort of like the connection when it come in. So a baby scream and cry all the time because it's trying to tell you, look, I've been here before, right? But a lot of people don't understand that. But it stays there. So I tell you, like, look this up. It's on the internet. And I don't like to say stuff off the internet. But just for the sake of this subject, I'm going to tell them to look it up so they can know, your viewers can understand. It was a 3-year-old child. And the 3-year-old child said, listen, I was here before and I died. Somebody killed me. I'm going to take you to my body. The 3-year-old child took him to the body. And she said, look, I know who killed me too. They took him to the person that killed him. He confessed and he got life right now. Right?
Wow. So, he's telling the truth.
So everything on this plane been here. It wipes your memory. But remember, I tell you, certain things trigger it. We share the same consciousness. You are not your body. You have had many of bodies.
Oh, wow. 607 Unc, I've been telling people there's at the University of Virginia, the Department of Perceptual Studies. This is mainstream science now. Anybody out there saying he's crazy, I'm crazy? No, now science is studying this. Thank you for bringing that up. I want to ask you, talk to us about why the children after age 5, they start forgetting it, because you talked about how the separation.
School.
Talk to
Listen,
us.
so what school does is this: everything is a 12-step program. You got 12-step program and try to get off alcohol. You got 12 steps and going to school. You got 12th grade and you're over. But I'm gonna tell you this: y'all better study the 12. I'm not gonna tell you everything, because life is about, you got to understand. But that 12 have a meaning, and I promise to tell you, it's what put us in the kind of forgetful phase, because they teach you new history. What's the first thing they did when you was in school? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. I'm a child. How can I pledge allegiance to anything? What the fuck? What is pledging allegiance anyway? Right? And then they give you a history that was not true. They give you his story. Right? So you have to understand what you are given. Right? The first thing they told you you wasn't the Mexicans. But I'm telling you, you the Mexicans, because you came from Morocco. Morocco ruled Spain and took over them kids. And in Spain, they had kids that were Spaniards, and then they spoke Spanish, right? And a lot of people don't understand that we have been on the earth. We are the original everything. When I say that, I'm talking about the people with melanin. But we're not just the people with melanin. We also direct descendants of, and I don't like to say this, but people don't understand.
No, say it. Say it.
We was all created by something, but we God, and we got that high frequency. We carry the light, and everybody understands this melanin that we carry the light. But I'm not against anybody, because we need those that carry the dark also. It has to balance, right? So listen, I love the devil, because without the devil, I wouldn't know God. So people don't understand. Jesus said, love your enemies. So people want to hate certain things, but again, I can't hate bad, right? I cannot hate the devil. I cannot hate a bad person, because without a bad person, I couldn't be labeled who I
am. You know what? Sa.neter always says he teaches we are God and the devil, and religion tells us that there's this battle. They want us to do that separation. Talk to us about that, how they tell us there's a battle.
Listen, hate is a low vibration. So if the church is telling you that hate is a low vibration, Jesus said this. They say, look, Jesus, the disciples asked Jesus, how do I know who to trust? Jesus said they're going to come in love. So when the church come in love, they can't come in love if they come in hate, right? They hate the gays. But how can you hate the gays? You have what's the problem with the gays, right? They hate this person. They hate that person. They hate the Muslims. They hate the Jews. That's a low vibration. Right? That's not of God.
That's real. Wait a minute, y'all. We talk about religion, but they always talking about who they hate before they tell you who they love.
Yeah, so that's a low vibration. It's a low frequency, right? You don't want the frequency of hate, because the frequency of hate cannot bring love. This was the Bible, but in a book that they read, it says that exact same thing, but yet they still do it.
Dang, that's true. There's no place for hatred if you're going to teach people how to be a part of God, and God is love, correct?
How? That's like telling people a lot of times that want to be rich that everybody that's poor have to be rich. No, everybody that's poor has to be poor, and people that rich got to be rich, because it has to balance. So we need good, we need evil. I don't think people understand. So when people look on the news and they see certain stuff going on in the world, it's tragedies, it's okay to be like, okay, cool, but I bet you that tragedy also brought something good.
And Jesus said when they were criticizing him, they were like, why do you hate? Why are you with those bad people? Why are you with the evil people? Jesus said, I'm here for the sick. Why would I be coming to those who don't need me, right?
Yeah, yes. And Jesus also was teaching manifestation. Jesus said, let he who not sin cast the first stone. The sin lies in the thought. It lies in the thought, right? So if you think something, you already have sin, right? Because that reality, you have already convicted yourself, and it's going to come. A lot of people don't know this. You have to watch what you think. Just for me, I do not do nothing. Like if you call my phone, you say, I got a spiritual channel, I want you to get on. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm not going to talk about no money. If you say the opposite, then I'm going to do the opposite. I got a balance. I understand what I'm here for. I cannot charge a fee for knowledge that I don't own.
And we thank you for that. We love you for that. You're getting so much love over here. Please hit the like. We are the really, this is where everything sparked from. I told the brother early, I'm talking to the audience. I was like, you know, you're being compared to different, like Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, even some of the things you get out there. You talk about the early young Pharaoh. And the brother was like, I don't know who any of those people are, but I have heard that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that when people come to you and they're like, oh, you know, we need your light? Do you find that a lot of people want to like almost attach themselves to you and kind of just not vampire you, but you know what I mean? Like leech off of you and your energy?
I carry a light that I'm an ascended master, right? And I was told this by another ascended master, and I don't want to really act like that's something good, because we all ascended masters. We all have the sort of same consciousness. My problem be within. It's not without. I have to make sure that I can be everything that I say I am, right? I can't say I'm old man and then when ain't nobody looking, I eat. I got to be the message I bring. And that was so hard about me, because when you look at me, you can tell that I'm a liar, I'm a thief, I'm a killer, I'm a murderer, right? Everybody knows this. But if you look at the Bible, if you believe that, Paul was too. That's how you know I don't got to lie. I'm not smart as them brothers. Them brothers have studied, they have did everything, and I look up to them, and I want to sit down with them. But from what I can see, they all, not all of them, but some of them making groups about me and saying that I'm the devil, and I'm like, yeah, I am. They say I'm confused, and I say, yeah, I am. Because I am confused, I am the devil, but I'm also God, and I'm also good. Just get to know. Just get to know.
Because in the beginning, talk to us about that. In Genesis, it says, in the beginning was the darkness and the chaos, but the light joined with it, and then it became manifested what we know today, right? In the beginning.
Yeah, but they, listen, I'm going to keep it real, and I don't care how much they look at it, they pussy. They scared to speak the message. They scared to die. They scared to buy. They scared to get demonetized off YouTube. They scared not to have no money, and I'm not. That will separate me from them, so they should love me, because I'm going to strike first, right? And I'm striking in love. I'm not striking in fear, and I'm not striking to hurt nobody, but the message have to be heard, right? And since they scared to take the forefront, then I'm going to do it. I walked in the city council the other day. I'm not here to play.
When you talk about city council, can we get into some of the current events? If you could talk to us about what do you think about this Diddy trial going on?
Listen, and
we have some kids in the audience, so we try to keep it a little PG. But talk to us. I really want to hear from you on what you think about that.
I'm gonna say this. Everything you see as a spiritual war is a deflect. Diddy ain't did nothing, but Diddy did everything. Diddy accepted their money. He accepted their money. When you accept their money, you play by their game. Look, who don't have sex? Everybody has sex. But who is not extorted for money when they have money and they use that as power? See, Diddy try to use money as power when money not power. You got to have power before you have money, right? So I'm on. But a lot of people like that, they got that power with money, and the other people got to show you that we more powerful than you. Right, because it's a power struggle, and right, and that's what's going on with Diddy, and I hope it work out in his favor, but I doubt it. I doubt it for two reasons. One, if you make your bed, you lie in it, and two, if you make your bed, you lie in it. Right, so I don't really want to talk about Diddy because did he do it or did he didn't? I don't know if he did it or didn't.
And you did enough. That's what I just wanted to hear your bit about that. But let's talk about how people. You said we choose our lives.
Yeah, Diddy chose his. When Diddy did everything that he did, he chose his life. Let me tell you what I mean. Diddy could have changed his moment to moment. Diddy knew this was coming before, right? He could have did one thing in a moment and changed everything, but Diddy thought he can change what he already created. And like you can't, that's one thing about life you don't understand. This is what they mess up at. I can't start off something bad and try to change good. Once I do that, I throw off everything, and now here come the crash. That's what happened with Diddy. They not strong. I do all this bad, and now I want to try to do good. No, sir, you're stuck doing bad because you remember I told you about that 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Or 1 o'clock. It had already started. Now you cannot change that frequency. When you change that frequency, here come everything else. Here come prison. Here come jail. Here come Diddy losing all his money. He tried to change the frequency. He changed his name to Love. Don't you dare play with love like that.
He changed his name to Love? I didn't know that.
Don't you dare play with love like that.
Right. Wow. When you said about his life and the 1 o'clock, that's the doom. And I think of, the pendulum, but it's that blade that gets closer and closer to the person who's tied up on the rack. You ever seen that? Like, that keeps getting closer and closer. There's no way to stop it.
Listen, I tell people this. Don't nothing in your life happen from one moment. It all happened from a lot of different moments, and you overlook them. And you overlooked them, or you reacted the same way. And then Jesus said this. Jesus said, all sin don't lead to death, but some of them will lead to death, right? So you got to understand this, that every day, every second, every minute, you create your reality. I just want to keep expressing that. I know I probably said it a lot.
No, you're not.
In this, that's the only message I'm getting, is moment to moment. That's the only thing that keep coming to my brain, moment to moment, moment to moment. I think that's what your viewers need to know.
Yes, and thank you. Don't apologize for what you're saying, because it's important. Like you said,
I just can't control it. I just can't control it. A lot of times I be like, I can't control it. And that's why a lot of times I turn down women, because I don't want to offend them. I understand that y'all the goddess, but I can't control it. And sometimes I get too aggressive and I can't control it, but it's pure, it's in love. But I can't control it. I'm not supposed to act like this is me. That's why them brothers that study all the knowledge, that's them. Jermaine, I can't even say their names, right? That's them. They got the knowledge. They got the degrees. This is not me.
Well, you know what? A lot of them don't have degrees. A lot of them just came out and started teaching, but we don't know where some of them are right now. However, talk to us about messiahs, because I love how you bring up Jesus. Talk to us about the ascending masters or messiahs that come. And are there many, or is there just one? Is there only one savior? Is there only Jesus, or are there some that come after?
Jesus. I'm Jesus. I'm ascended master. We share one consciousness, right? If you got to understand, it's me. Buddha was one, but then when we leave, they try to say and make out people to be God, because certain things is like this. We share every pain. I shared every pain. I done been everything. I done smoked crack. I done sold crack. I done been to prison. I done helped people get out of prison. Every walk of life I have walked through. So I'm qualified to help somebody walk out.
That's true. You have experience. Do you have to have these experiences to be able to help these people?
Yes. See, be a ascended master. What strike your memory is you got to live multiple lives in one. So in one life, I live multiple. I never stayed in one state. Like, I was rich, a millionaire real quick, and then bam, next week I'm broke and nothing. And then next week I'm this, I'm that. Like, it was fast for me. That's how you can kind of tell when you're ascending masters, because you have so many moments so fast, and to wake you up. So you will outlive all your lives. So every life that I have, that's how I know I have 5, because every life I lived it in this one.
So you've had 5 lives?
Yeah, I lived all of them in this one.
Do you ever see what happened in your past lives, like a regression?
Yeah, in this one. Let me tell you what I mean.
We can't hear you.
I said, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you fine. Go ahead.
Let me tell you what I mean. You know somebody in your family that ever did drugs or something?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And they did it for a long time, never stopped, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So you got to understand that's what happens with the soul, right? Or with your mind or with your memory, right? You just forget. You don't know. You don't know how many times you've been born. You don't understand it. But as you start moving forward and opening your eyes, you start seeing it. And I saw it because I lived every life now. When I was rich, I know I lived a rich life before. So then I was poor. I know I lived a poor life before. So then I was in prison. So I know I was in prison before in other life. But everything happens so fast, right? That's how you know. People get stuck. I wasn't one to get stuck. I kept on going forward. And I looked up, said, the fuck, what's going on? And then I started getting all these downloads. Some said stop eating. Some said paint your nails. And everything it told me to do, I just did it. And every time I did it, stuff happened. Wow.
I understand what you're saying. I want to talk to you. I'm getting this thought in my mind while you're talking. I absolutely 110% agree that we share one collective consciousness. I want you, though, to talk to the people from what you say. What about the ones like the Jeffrey Dahmers and the sick people that share the consciousness with us? What about those people that we don't want a part of the consciousness? Should they be, like in the Bible, are they vessels fitted for destruction? Should they be destroyed? Should they be deleted? What about those?
They should do what they do. I don't think people understand. Everything got a balance. Without them, how you gonna know what's good? I love Jeffrey Dahmer. I love murderers. I am that. If you hate that, then you hate me. Right? I don't think people understand that everything is needed. Listen, a lot of people don't like the winter, but let us miss winter. A lot of people don't like the summer, but let us miss summer. Right? Everything on earth is greatly needed. When you take it away, people will understand how much you needed it.
Wow. So, bro, let me talk to you, Unc. I rock with you heavy with everything you're saying, but we got to have you elaborate. When you said you love murderers, I don't want to lose. Remember when Jesus said to the people, you got to eat my flesh, and a lot of people left? I want you to
listen. Why wouldn't I love who I am? Why wouldn't I love who I am? Listen, we fight not against people, but against principalities and power. A power was inside of him what made him kill. A human don't naturally kill. A human don't naturally eat meat. My teeth wasn't designed for me to eat meat. This came after we started eating meat, and then my teeth evolved into this. They start coming out, and I started catching veins to eat meat. Right. So what I'm telling you is that it's not their fault. Right. So you have to love them. How can you not love them? You have to be crazy not to love them. If you don't love them, then you can't love life. And listen, we locked in a prison. This body is a fucking prison, but I have to love it. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful creation. Like how am I 3D? How is this 3D shit even possible? So in the fact, even though I'm in prison and I hate it, I love it at the same time.
Wow. I have a question. I love it. I didn't drop the bomb, but definitely that was a gem that you dropped. I have a question. This brother, you touched on it a little bit earlier. He's saying, what does he say about black folks being separated from white?
Listen, I'm gonna tell everybody where white folks and black folks come from. But again, remember why I don't like using this like the Nation of Islam and all of them, because they use it with hate. And anytime you take the message and use it with hate, it's not a good message. So I'm gonna tell you where they come from. They come from the fallen angels, but the fallen angels, some was good, some was bad. When God said in the Bible, let us make man in our image, he was talking to the gods. Some of them was over there in Antarctica. The other was over there in the land of Chemics, which we gonna call them the Anunnakis. And they was the Anunnakis, and they was over there, and the other was over there, the Natholians, and they had sex with the fallen angels. They had these big ass babies and shit. And then the white folks came from them, and they had Cain, and Cain came over there and killed Abel, and Abel was Melon, right? He was from us. He was part of the light beings, and they was the dark beings, and that's how it came, right? But I'm not saying don't love them because who they are. So when you say that, people misuse that. They say the white folks the devil. Well, then I'm the devil too, right? So I don't want to misuse that. I don't want to misuse the truth for some racism stuff.
Talk on it.
I don't want to do that.
And I love that about you, because we got what's going on where our minds are being manipulated by the media.
Malcolm X did it. He fooled the people, said they was devils. Master Louis Farrakhan did it, made them think like they was bad. But I'm telling you, that's not it. We cannot hate. Hate is a low vibration. If we hate, we're no better than them.
Say that again, please.
If we hate, we know better than them.
Because you know what? There are a lot of people who say because we were put in captivity and put on slave ships in our ancestry that we have to do the same back to people. I don't think that's correct.
Y'all don't know it. Listen, y'all don't know how they took over. This is how they took over, and y'all don't get it. Nothing happened to us when they made all this shit in the mountains. They sent over kids. And we enslaved them kids. We did. We enslaved them kids, and them kids grew up and took over us. What y'all don't remember, because I do. They sent them kids. From Antarctica over to us, and we was raising them kids and having them do all the stuff everything, and they got bigger. They took us over. That a lot of people don't know. They was shipping them kids out, just like the test tube babies. The test tube babies are artificially inseminated. They've been putting these babies inside of us. That's how they get them in here. They put them in as kids. They don't put them in full grown.
Right. 607 Unc. you're talking about Antarctica and you talked about Kemet. So talk to the people. What do you know about it?
They took white babies from Antarctica and they put them in the land of Kemet.
That's what so were Kemet melaninated, and then Antarctic was
yes.
Okay.
They traveled. They shipped the babies there. And the African, I don't like to call them Africa because they gave the name Africa to them. The Europeans gave the name Africans. So I don't like using that, but I'm gonna say it for the sake of this.
Right.
But yeah, they was in the land of Kemet, and that's Africa. And they sent the babies over there. So they had them babies. They had the slaves. So a lot of people, they afraid to admit it, but we were not slaves, they was. They gave us their history. We put them in slavery.
So do you think that when you say look, I'm listening to you. We're learning from we're learning your perspective. I love it. Please hit the like button. This brother's coming in and sharing his mind with us. Have some respect. And those out there who are loving it, thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like. I do want people to know I want to get this on record. Is the world flat or is the world round?
It's flat. It's flat. And everything. Listen, it's flat and everything is this way. So everybody looking for space up and down. You go up, you ain't gonna get nothing. You go down, you won't get nothing. But if you go down further enough, you're gonna get a lake inside of a lake, which is gonna lead you to another landmass. But if you go over this way, you can get to that's where all the gods come from, the Anunnakis and all those. They over the ice wall. But a lot of people don't know.
Over the ice wall.
Space. They over the ice wall. And I'm going to Antarctica. I gotta get $1 billion first. I'm working on that.
When are you gonna? So you're on your way. You want to visit Antarctica?
No, I'm going for sure. I need $1 billion or better. So I'm working on that right now.
Talk to us about money. Like it's going into cryptocurrency. We're not going to be using the fiat like the paper. What is that whole concept of what is valuable for exchange as money? We used to use gold. Now we're using then we started paper. Now we're getting into the digital money.
You don't understand? You don't understand. Listen, money is not money. Money is fake. The real money is information, right? Information is the money.
Wow,
right?
Yeah.
So when you have the information, you also have the money. Whatever that currency is, you're gonna be able to have that for that, right? It's gonna always be able to spend. The information is gonna spend no matter what, right? So what people don't understand is when you get trapped up in the money, you forget about what creates the money. See, what creates the money is the knowledge, it's the information, it's the business, it's the structure, it's what you have. But a lot of people, you cannot put a price on that. There's no piece of money that you can put on my movement, because my movement is that of God. I'm trying to wake up souls. So how can you put a price on that? And even though it's labeled a business, right? But you can't put a price on what I have. Right, it don't have a price. It don't have money. It's invaluable. The fact you got to understand that money is not needed. It's not needed. It's not needed.
Well, when we know that between us it's not needed, but what about when you need that money to get to Antarctica or that billion?
Listen, even what you see as money is not actually money. The frequency of the dollar bill is not gonna give me the Antarctica. I can get $1 billion right now, and I won't get there. And you know it, and I know it, right? So it's the relationships that come with that money, that power that come with that money, right? But the power you got to possess before you have that money is crazy. That's why a lot of us don't become billionaires, because you got to possess that power to become a billionaire now.
Yeah. So I like what you said about the information being what is really the current. I want you to point this out and see what you say about it. When we talk about electricity, we talk about currency. When we talk about money, we talk about currency. Could there be some type of connection there where we say electricity is currency, money is called currency?
Well, what's currency? Explain to me. Tell me the definition of currency.
Something that flows. Currency, something that moves in a wave.
The water. Currency.
Oh, and also water, current. Let me just read the super chat real quick. Peace to you, Chief. 607 Unk. No, it's all stimulation. Free my brother Brick. Baby love to Napah and love to Napah and Elder sa.neter. It's always all love. So this brother's letting you know. Who's bro Brick?
Brick baby. He in jail right now.
Oh, Brick baby.
He got locked up over there. No jumper. Adam 22. He got locked up. Went to jail over there for. I think he in jail. Kind of like doing some homosexual activities, maybe.
Oh, well, okay. Well, we just, like you said, we're going to move off that, but I wanted to definitely
I was trolling. That was a troll.
Oh, okay. I don't know. But the brother said free his...
No, we love Brick. We love Brick. I was trolling.
Okay, he's trolling. All right. Much love to you, Chief. You know it's all love over here always. You're part of the HOK family forever. Peace. Okay, so what is currency? Back to what you were saying, because this is getting good.
Like, back in the days, currency they used the barter system. They traded, right? So currency is whatever a person possesses. They convince somebody to give them something for it. Currency could be anything. It's the act of trade. It's whoever creates the value in that trade. Give me a wood. That what currency is to me, because like right now, this could be currency. This right here could be.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I could exchange this for something,
right?
Like to keep a flow going. So currency itself, for real, is the act of, it's a trade. Money is just a trade. Look, they used to trade salt and pepper and shit like that, seasoning and shit like that. So it's the same thing. They put money out there to control the trade. What don't you get? They want to control the trade. They're trying to control everything. Right?
The brother said love is a currency.
Yeah, look, of course, love is the best. Listen, I'm wealthy off love. Listen, I pushed the love of currency to the universe, and I made another million. Every time I love, I make a million. Right? That's why I'm not concerned about the vibrating the hate. I vibrated hate, and I didn't make that many million.
Wow. Okay. So then so there is a connection between when we say electricity, we're talking about the exchange of energy. I know we can't define love, but
your heart is electricity.
Come on.
Your heart don't pump blood. Your heart is electricity. If you go out right now, they're gonna hit you with electricity right now to get your heart back
started.
If you have high blood pressure right now or something like that, they're gonna stick you with a whole bunch of salt. But then they're gonna tell you that salt causes high blood pressure. Then why you gonna pump a whole lot of salt in me for it? Then because your whole body is electricity. And when they put the certain foods in your body, you can't your electricity not working no more. So all that meat, now you're an electrical being. That's what a lot of people don't know. But back to you. I'm sorry. I just want to let everybody know that we electrical beings. I didn't think you knew that.
No, I know we're electrical beings. I just wanted them to hear from you.
Oh, yeah, we electrical beings, and that's why I eat electrical foods, and that's why I always put my feet on the ground, and I ground every day. That's why I meditate, and I pray, and I run every day, because I make my body submit, because the body is not mine. The body has its own brain. So a lot of people don't know.
I didn't mean to make it like dead air right now, y'all. I had a quick phone call. But yeah, so our bodies, let me take you off our bodies are electricity. Definitely. Yeah. I'm trying to get this off of here. Can you guys hear me?
I hear you well.
Well, you're on the big screen. I'm having some issues taking you off the screen, but listen, our bodies are electric, but people say there's only consciousness in the brain.
The brain. People know their brain do. People think they brain think. The brain don't have the capacity to think. The brain ain't nothing but an antenna.
Talk to us about that.
Let me tell you something, the way your brain works. So if you was 10 years old and you stop learning stuff in your life, they're going to circulate around in your brain the whole time, even when you get 30 and 40 and 50. Because the brain cannot think, right? The brain download information. That's all. That's it. That's all. It's download and it's a receiver. You know how your radio station, you can play different stations. You can do that shit with your brain, but only can play the stations you know.
So, okay. I love what you just said, how you're saying a lot of people in science and those who aren't on the level that you're on or that our audience is on, they say consciousness is only in the brain. Yeah, talk to us about that.
They lied. They said your brain have an IQ, but don't nobody have an IQ. An IQ is not possible. We all share the same consciousness. See, people don't understand that. They're going to tell you, oh, you smarter. Now, IQ is we trying to study in the brain. The brain not made to study. That's why people go to school. It's so hard. Some people get it, some people don't. The brain not made for that type of shit. They trying to train it. A brain's supposed to be free.
So it's a receiver. It's not a conductor. It's a receiver.
100%.
Oh, it's a conduit. It pulls in, and then we talk about how it comes in through your head, and then it travels down your body through 100%. Your heart. Wow. Yeah, that's good. I love that. So when did you decide, or when did you start getting all of these messages that you said you channeled? When did you really take that back. You always got them. When did you realize that you were getting them?
When I said, you know what? I love music. I said, you know what? I was real big doing fraud, make a lot of money. I said, you know what? I'm going to do this music, and I'm going to give back to the kids. I'm going to do like a development center, so I can't do fraud no more. That's what I told myself. So I can't do fraud. I got to just try to do this. So instantly when I did that, I had like $1 million. So I took the money. I took $1 million, and I got a financial advisor. He showed me how to put the money in the bank and do all that. And I was starting. He said, listen, that you broke. I said, how am I broke? I got $1 million. He said, well, you can't do everything you're trying to do, everything, and then still take care of yourself. Because at the time, I had a whole lot of expenses. I was taking care of my mama. I was paying everybody else's bills. It got to the point where I was even getting my dog haircut every week. Right? He like, no, you spending way too much money, so you're not going to make it. Me personally, I didn't believe him. So I kept doing what I was doing. But 6 months later, I ended up didn't have that $1 million no more. And I'm like, you know what? I said, you know what? I got to keep going. And I never did fraud again. But then I started getting these thoughts and stuff started coming to my head. I spent a whole lot of time crying, though. I ain't gonna lie. I spent a whole lot of time crying, a whole lot of time in the dark. But I was just focused on trying to build it up. And I started getting all these messages and stuff telling me to do this and do that. And I remember times where I needed $1,500 to pay the rent, and I didn't have the money. Mind you, I'm a millionaire. Everybody knew me having money, so I couldn't call nobody. And then my landlord called me like, I paid that for you. I'll take care of you next month, and then YouTube check will come. That's how fast. That's how quick it was. It was just like yesterday, right? Just like yesterday. Then a YouTube check will come, and I'll be able to pay them. So I understand that you got to walk into it, but people are scared. But it's gonna be dark. It's gonna be dark, but it's gonna be dark because you can't take none of the old stuff with you to your new life.
That's a beautiful story. I love how you shared that side of you that was vulnerable. A lot of people, especially men, they don't want to talk about crying and having those emotions. What do you say about that? How men aren't allowed to actually show their vulnerable side without being called simps or girly?
They coming back in another body. You got to activate your masculine and your feminine, right? I cry. What's wrong with that? I love. What's wrong with that? But I kill too. I kill too.
Not killing. You kill? Yeah, we don't want you to incriminate yourself over here in the HOK.
Yeah, listen. They know what I am. Listen, I got nothing to hide, but I don't lie.
But I just don't want you talking about killing, please.
Yeah, I'm a murderer.
Okay, we know you have said that before, and that's how you said you can be an ascended master.
I'm a demon slayer now. I wake up, kill demons every day. I kill my ego.
Demon slayer. Wait, I know you like anime? You like anime?
I'm a demon slayer, gang.
Oh, you just saying demon slayer. You know there's an anime called Demon Slayer.
That's me.
Okay, so I like that. Well, demons. Part of my name is demon, so. Demons aren't always evil, right?
Listen, I'm an ego. A man, listen, if a man don't kill his ego will get him killed, right? Ego is the worst thing a man should have, so every man should be a killer. He should wake up killing every day because he's wake up killing himself. They tell you don't kill yourself, but everybody should kill themselves at least once a day because that ego will get you killed. Okay, well, just disclaimer. The brother is not saying literally unalive yourself. So we got to make sure. Listen. I want to tell you this. I don't think you get it. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm saying physically. The ego inside yourself, you have to kill. I hear you. You have to kill because if you don't, then you will die. You will die though you're already dead. Yeah, because it could lead you down that path you said when you have to choose, right? Don't do that. Just like her. See that ego. How you doing? You all right? Hi. How are you? Huh? Like what? Money. Get a soda. No, I can't spend it today. I'm sorry. Talk to us about people who are
who are actually down and out and asking for handouts like that? What is your take on them?
I can't share nothing today.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
Why?
take. Listen, my take is this. I can share. There what the prophet said, not the prophet, but the disciples. He said, I can share what I got to give you. It ain't gonna be money. What I got to give you, it ain't gonna be money. See, I don't think people understand money won't help them. I give them $5 right now. She gonna go get something and be right back in the same spot tomorrow. So what did my $5 do?
How do you know the difference between someone who really wants to get something to eat and someone who wants to abuse themselves with the money?
They wouldn't be on the street. Right?
Okay.
Somebody that want to eat gonna be in a place of food. Right? You can just tell. You gotta understand that everybody is a trickster. Everybody a trickster
I
in
gotta
the
drop a
world.
bomb on that. Hold on, brother. That was fire though, because they wouldn't be in the street if they wanted to eat.
They'd be around food.
Be around somewhere trying to get food. Wow.
Yeah. It's
Well,
simple.
what about when we have family members? We know that because you mentioned it. I want to go back to what you said, how you're taking care of everybody. What about family members who just rely on you and they know you have more than they have? How do you deal with that? Like, do you just let them keep on taking money till you're broke, like you did in your situation?
To talk about family members, you gotta understand how a person become your family member. So at the time of birth, when it's like, when it's like, and it's crazy because this came realization to me the other day through a conversation I was having. But through the time of birth, when a lady opened her legs in that white light, there were a whole lot of different souls going to that baby that was already involved in that bloodline. Now the bloodline of that baby is automatically belongs to that person, but that soul is chosen right before the birth. Right? So that light that you see is the light that the person see on the other side before they not and they come back in another body. So what I'm saying is this: these are attachments, right? They're no more than attachments. You don't know who's in that baby. You know it has your bloodline, but you don't know what soul is in that baby. It could be meet your demise. It could be your trap. It could be to keep you stuck here, right? A lot of people do not look at what's really going on. They think they're in the physical world, but I'm telling you, the devil and God, I'm gonna say it. God that run this world, he a trickster. And he will trick you and have you thinking certain stuff that's not true. Right? Have you thinking you got a mama, have you thinking you got a child, but I'm telling you, everything is you. You are projected a reality that you want. Nothing is real. You projected in yourself. You are God projecting your own reality on this earth. They can't take a kid from you. So if you can't be scared, oh, you can't take that kid from me. I created that kid out of here. So it'll be always with me. I created it. It's my creation. Where is it going? You cannot remove it. You cannot take it. You can't go in my memory and just take it from me.
What is your take on, speaking of take and conception, how do you feel about abortion?
Listen, I'm against murder. I'm against aborting an act, a dog, a cat. I don't think the person should physically hurt nothing on this earth. Not a baby, not a child. It's not good. It's a low vibration.
Okay. Yeah. So what is the option for the women who can't have, who don't want to have the baby, or what do they do?
Don't fuck.
Let me get that bomb for you. Keep going. That's something your grandma would tell us. Your grandma would tell us. Oh, yes. Okay. But what about the people who can't hold, like you said, they can't control themselves?
Some ladies gonna have problems to where you have this life, you're gonna lose your life. Some people have medical decisions to where they gotta make. And no. Go through that. I promise you, with no fear, you're gonna have your life. It's a trick. It's a fear. It's fear. Do not be afraid. And if you do lose your life, what was supposed to happen? Okay.
Well, the views of the brother are definitely respected, but I don't encourage.
Listen, if the sun don't come up, if the sun don't come up one time, what's gonna happen?
It's gonna be pretty bad for us if we don't get the sun.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So things have to do what it's determined to do. What if that child that she was supposed to bring into the world was gonna change it, and she did not lay down her life that wasn't hers in the first place for the change? What if Jesus' mama wouldn't have done it?
You know what I like about what you teach, 607 on, these teachings are not always easy to receive. And that's one thing you can see that is a mark of someone who is an ascended master, or you could say someone who's an extraordinary teacher. The things you say, a lot of times they're hard for people to receive, even me, of course. So I like, just go ahead and say what you need to say. I'm not here to debate.
What if, listen, I'm telling you, mother's love, sometimes you have to lay down your life. Like Jesus said, I lay down my life. That's the understanding people got to understand. This is not your life. This is not you. I'm not saying run around killing yourself. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that this body, it has to go, and why not let it go to bring something else in that's gonna continue what you've been doing the whole time if you've been in line. If you in line, you understand that everything evolves, that nothing is the end.
Yeah, you have to get to the point where your teachings say, there is no end. Someone has to really, really be on that vibration where they have no fear of death, because you say we're already dead anyway. So that's a pretty sensitive topic.
It's hard. If people don't want to talk about death till they 5 minutes from dying. Right. This is the problem. But people like them Buddhists, they study for that moment, because that moment like that, if you got any fear in death, you come back in another body.
Right.
The slightest bit of fear. It could be the smallest sense of fear. That's why you got to kill all the fear while you still alive. But dead.
Yes, we do. I actually am what they call a death doula, but I call myself a life cycle doula. And it's hard for people. We need to change our concept of death. Death shouldn't be feared. Death shouldn't be something seen as evil.
Man, nothing died. We got to think of a new word for it, because we ain't never seen nothing die long as we live. When an animal dies, we see maggots pop out on it. All we see is stuff evolve to different things. Energy cannot die. It's proven.
Right. That's the first law of thermodynamics.
People don't understand. They're not going to remember their body. You're not going to remember your physical self. Like, this physical body is nothing. It's a consciousness what you remember. You have to understand that who you are. You have to tap into your higher self. You're not your emotions. You're not your feelings. You're not what you think you are. Let me tell you something. Do me a favor. Say 607 Unc.
607 Unc.
Now say it on the inside of your head. Now say it on the outside.
607 Unc.
Which one was you?
Both.
No, they had different sounds, different voices, different pitches. One of them, you heard one of them on the inside without even saying nothing on the outside. How is that possible?
Well, let me ask you. That's a great. Stay right there. So you're saying the thought frequency and the sound frequency are different.
Yes, you have to align those. You have to align those. If you do not align those, you can't manifest nothing. But if those are manifested in hate, like a nigga think, oh, I got a kill off from the streets, he gonna go out and really be a killer, because he really think that, right? So I'm telling you that you got to be careful.
So why is it that there's so many people, like, just lately, like you're probably around my age or a little bit younger, but in during our time, people didn't just kill for no reason. Like, people will just kill for no reason. They even kill their loved ones at birthday parties.
Ain't no love. Listen.
Why are they doing this though?
The low vibration. Listen, remember I told you, if you go 1 o'clock, and you get the ripple effect, now do it backwards. All the music, the frequency of the music have destroyed everything. It's only going to get worse and worse and worse. That's why I come to balance it. I come for those people. Like, listen, the low vibration is all associated with poverty. It's associated with the trenches. It's associated with where I come from. And that's why I'm personally designed to help them. I'm personally designed to be around the thieves, the murderers, and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm fit enough to sit next to brothers Sanchez and other brothers like that. I don't know if I fit that criteria, but I know I fit the criteria to stand next to the streets.
I like that you're humble like that. You fit just fine over here at the House of Consciousness, and I need you to be here more than just now. I love your energy. I love what you bring. I love that you stir people up. You make them think. People might get rubbed the wrong way, but if they sit and really think about what you say, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it really does. I don't know how much time you have to give to us. You have been with me for almost an hour, for over an hour and a half. Is there anything, if the world ended today, and I mean this, today the world ends, and I see you're channeling right now, so that's awesome. So if the world ended today, where would you want to be, and what would you want to say if you could talk to everybody, as many people as you can, which you're doing right now on the House of Consciousness and on the Rise channel? If the world ended today, what would you want to do, and who would you want to be with? What would you want to say, and who would you want to be with, Ankh?
Hold no attachments.
That was deep, though, because I said, who would you want to be with? And then your message was hold no attachment. So you would be already with everyone, or what?
Yeah, I am everything. I am everyone. Everything is me.
I love it. I really do. I love your energy. I'm going to take, if it's okay with you, just one, at the most, two people come in and maybe just introduce themselves and ask you a question. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Oh, wow. You're awesome. Thank you. So I'm going to drop the link, and whoever comes in first, and if I know you, if I know you're not going to get in here and act a complete donkey, please come on up.
I like donkeys.
I like donkeys too. You want to hear something funny? Donkeys were very sacred in a lot of ancient times. I want to bring you back so you could talk to us about the ancient religions, because I don't want to take up your whole Friday.
We gonna do something about Gnosticism, about all the ancient religions, because I really love talking about those.
Oh yes, I want to. We're gonna have to spend. I'm gonna have to do like a whole 2 hours talking to you about Gnosticism, and and that's what I loved about your teachings. I forgot you really studied Yaldabaoth. You study the information on Sophia and the Demiurge, which is Yaldabaoth. While we're waiting, go ahead, just give us a little bit about talk to us about.
That's crazy. I never studied none of it. A lot of people think like it came in pieces. At one point in time, I remember I thought it was Sophia and nothing else. I thought it was the Demiurge and nothing else. Everything come in pieces. Like I say, everything came to me in pieces. Like you have to be ready for it. And if you ain't ready for it, you're not gonna accept it. Just like you said, a lot of people gotta go from 3D to 4D to 5D to reality. I had to change my reality, right? And that's the crazy part about it. But I can remember the days where I didn't know what I know now, and I think like how, because it's so natural now. Like how the fuck can I be so stupid? How could I have been so stupid? That's what I think now. Like how could I have been so stupid not to understand? Because I went to church, and you just read the Bible itself. It'll show you that it's not accurate. Not that it's telling the lie. It's telling the truth. It's just that it gives you a different perception of what it actually says. Like when it says in the Bible, let us make man in our image. They gonna tell you that us meant something else. And then you're gonna believe it as a child. They ain't gonna tell you don't question God. They gonna tell you just have faith. And then they gonna tell you to have belief. But then they gonna tell you that belief means what man thinks is true. Belief is what you think is true. So who run around with belief? I don't want to believe anything. I look for truth.
You want to, yeah. Yeah, we say that over here.
And that's one thing about the Gnosticism. They look for truth. They study for truth. They had the book of Adam, the book of Thomas, all these books that was taken out, the book of Enoch, right? They studied every book as a whole, and they understood what certain foods do. They didn't eat flesh. They understood, right? And sort of like they did in Atlantic Kemet. You know, they understood. When they made the pyramids, they understood. We understood for so long, and now we just forgot.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. We do have somebody. I love your knowledge. I love your mind. And I know I'm not alone. The other people, the family here enjoying this blessing. Thank you, King Diaz, for the super chat, the 1999 super chat. It's all love. We appreciate you being here. Please subscribe. We're going to bring Most High willing, the Spirit willing. we're going to bring 607 Unc back, and he's going to share more with us because he is he has a plethora of knowledge that I'm excited to have him on here. Everything before I talk to the brother, everything doesn't have to be sourced up and all that, y'all. We have this thing that we have a group of people who come on, Unc, and they call people like you and me, they call us pseudos. Talk to us about what you think about that when people call you a pseudo.
What that mean?
Exactly. That's all you had to say. Never mind. Peace to DeVirgo. Thank you for hitting the panel. Would you like to ask a question?
Yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to you, both of y'all. I think this is a fire bill, and the information that brother is putting out is awesome. You know what I mean? Because I think on them frequencies, it's just like, but I'd like to know a little bit more about how he got to that position. Like when he get the downloads, who bring it to him?
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, like, there's a lot of different ways to get it. A lot of people deal with different beings outside of themselves. I promise you, I get it from me. So I got to get it from the monad, right? It's infinite line of information that comes from myself. I don't use outside sources. I don't need outside information, right? So a lot of people, they may say they talk to this spirit or that spirit, but I'm here to tell you, you shouldn't talk to none of them. Because, like, the thing in afterlife is this: you got to understand that you are everything. So if I'm everything, why do I need to communicate with something else other than me? That's just me. A lot of people got their own things. I heard a lot of people say talk to their ancestors. I don't want to talk to no ancestor. I am my ancestor.
Right.
Except one soul, one consciousness.
Yeah, I feel the same way, that we is the all.
So nobody to talk to. Yeah. So nobody to talk to, gang.
Yeah.
For me, if somebody talking to somebody else outside of themselves, they crazy.
Yeah. You're right. I agree. Because that's where we got lost in the trenches at. This knowledge that self, we got lost, and they put us under this hypnotism, I call it. And we thinking what they putting in front of us, bringing it from the outside inward, it should be coming inside out.
There you go.
Yeah. And so we got this misconception going on. And when you get back to the true knowledge of self, then you start realizing all the lies they've been telling us to keep us deaf, dumb, and blind.
And it hurt, right? It hurt.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that it hurt. You're going to go through that pain, that realization that, fuck, I've been lied to, right? That's something that a man, I'd rather keep living life in fear before I accept that reality. And that's how a lot of people feel. I felt that way, right? But when you go down that road, you're going to feel better because you're going to go down scared to die, but then going to come up realizing that fear created life. Because living life with no fear, you had the most beautiful life.
Yeah. And that's why you gotta stay in the middle path. You can't hate none, you can't love none, no attachment. Leave it all here. Because when you leave up out of here,
I believe that.
You want all the power. You want all the power that you have to spin up out of here. I don't know what happened.
Right.
I don't know what happened.
I'm here. I ain't going nowhere.
And so we put our focus, whatever we
Hold on. We're having some tech difficulties. I think it's 607.
Let me get off then.
No, but you know what? He left. Damn. Oh, okay, Ben Frank. He's gone. But Ben Frank, I'm glad you hit the panel. It's interesting that his tech difficulties started right at the end. Peace there, Genesis. I was wondering where you were. Peace to you, Genesis. Much love.
No, we in here.
Ben Frank, what did you want to ask anyway? Or you just want to come in and share something? I'm sorry that he.
No.
I'm glad to see you, brother.
You as well. Much respect. No, I just, I was listening. And you know, I think a lot of times we make things complicated when it's simple. You know, just be righteous, and then you gonna catch your karma. You want to be everything else, you know, you're gonna catch your karma. It's just that, you know. And you know, I'm for like the meeting of the minds. You know that.
Yeah.
I love, you know, I love everything that you do. You know,
Thank you,
respect
brother.
always. And
You know,
you need these conversations because you know, then you find self. Self already knows self, but he wants to find self again, you know, in another way. But you still self. And I think a lot of times you just complicate things. You always know self. You always gonna learn something new about self. You always gonna remember about self. It's you because it's you. If
that's
every
right.
day is a lesson, everything is a lesson, whether good or bad. But it's like what your legacy gonna be when you go. And I think Unc on, you know, he knows some things. Like I said, you know, in the comments, he's a very smart brother, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
you got to read in between what he's saying on a lot of things, you know, because he's coming from his perspective. But you know, everybody got to make it their own. If it's good, you take the good, get rid of the bad parts. Nobody want to eat no poison. You know what that's gonna get you. I love y'all, and that's what I come with. You know, I'm gonna come with love. If somebody comes with anything else, I gotta go ahead and do what I gotta do. But you know, I always come in love and peace.
Okay, so we have the brother on his phone on the line. You know, go ahead.
It's me. Listen, I appreciate the time y'all spent with me. I'm gonna try to come back. So any questions I got for me, just basically give it, and I try to get you an answer. But I really enjoyed this, and the guy I was just talking to, I really enjoyed this conversation. I want to kind of like have more on conversation with him if I could. But I was enjoying his viewpoint.
Wow. Thank you so much. You're really a blessing, brother. On behalf of everybody here at the House of Consciousness and the Rise channel, we salute you. We thank you for coming in, and we will talk to you again soon. I want you to have a beautiful, blessed, safe weekend, and hopefully we'll speak to you soon. So you.
All right. It's all love. Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Good night.
All right.
Awesome. So anyway, yes, that was awesome. I'm so happy that we had him on. To those out there who we had the pseudo Killigan's Island, they was losing their minds, but it's all good. The people, they're not. Some people are not ready for the darkest mind. We don't have. Everybody's not a dark mind of the light. Everybody's not ready for the meat, so they got to be fed little spoonfuls of milk. But most people who are here, like DeVirgo and my brother Ben Frank, and I see all my sisters in the audience. The ladies and the brothers. I see my brothers in the audience. This was great. This was a great treat for the weekend. Some people call it their Sabbath. I know that some people were rubbed, you know, in the wrong direction. But let me stop talking about them. Let me talk about the ones who are just thrilled over this. I want to say thank you for being here, and I'm glad I could bring 607 Ankh to the platform, because this is the place to be. The Rise channel, HOK network. I can't say enough about how much I love the people who join us. Even the ones who try to come at me and say I'm pseudo and, oh, Napah, you don't know what you're doing. I love everybody. Like he said, right? We need it all. We can't just have it all one good or one bad. We need all of it. So thanks for hitting the panel, Ben Frank. I'll see you later. I know you still be on that podcraft floating up in the ether. So peace to the craft. Peace to everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you. You can see your way out, y'all. I'm just going to close out.
Peace out. Peace out.
Peace out, my brother. Okay. So I am going to end with a song, as I usually do. I hope y'all like it. I need to play a song by my sister and her husband, the one and only Lady Kier I'm sorry, I'll be forgetting your husband's name. I don't want to mess it up. But Lady Kier and her king, I'm going to leave you with one of their songs because I love this song. Why do I love this song? Why? You know what song I'm going to play if I can find it. I love this song so much. Peace to everybody and shout out to Revelation X.
Frankie on the trendsetter.
sa.neter, you did it again, man.
HOK Field Marshal, you know? None of them can but a dance on the top.
Revelation, set the top.
Violate the general. Head up in a blood clot funeral home. Anchor the AK, Jabari got the chrome. Head caress the heart, we sending them home. Regina the alley with a Cuban and a galley. Send you back on Nile Valley with a shot in your toe intellectually. How click the link if your scholarship sloppy. Or just wanna make you cry with the truth. No lie, my youth, him a really story. And 21 gun salute for commission. Not a brother, a hustle, a move like all left out the black woman, not all like Ulls and the Napah sister freedom. I the whole panel know what time for Bible thumping. The minute them see me come, revelation set. Frankie are the trendsetter. None of them can mother than sa.neter. None of them can mother than sa.neter. Them got a podcast but sa.neter.
Coast to coast, we be banging. Bringing all this knowledge, we be slanging. In the HOK, we don't do no entertaining.
Speaking truth, speaking facts.
What the niggas just a layman. Better get on one accord. The future can be yours. Ancestors push you more. We gotta go explore the sciences and math. The future's based on class. You bout to catch my wrath. We turning up this track.
In the darkest minds of the light.
The dark heart still fight.
We
We gotta make this right. Talk right now. We learn how to stand up and stand proud. No man down. We fam now. House of the conscious, my clan now.
Frankie are the trendsetter. None of them can mother than sa.neter. None of them can mother than sa.neter. Them got a podcast but sa.neter.
When I look at you niggas, I see what I'm not. Go take him, a little bit of her, mix it with them, I put them in a pot. You still can't get none like me. It might sound the same, but it's unlikely. One white tee, if I lift it up, you niggas gonna see what it gun might be. I thought I told ya. Afro Nation, Revelation, we some soldiers. sa.neter put this team together, now it's over. We got the weight of the world up on my shoulder. When you get conscious information, hearts turn colder. Now look at these trappers who rapping the same, so stuck in their lane, systemically, chemically. I'm thinking something is wrong with their brain. As long as they paid and flowing the chain, I got nothing to say. They in love with the gang. I traded my gang for change, and now that I changed a few things, still say the shit.
Frankie are the trendsetter. None of them can mother than sa.neter. None of them can mother than sa.neter. Them got a podcast but sa.neter.